Hi, Mark here. It is Monday, December the 15th, just after 9 a.m. Eastern. That's just after 2 p.m. GMT. US session now underway. And let's have a look at the US dollar. There's the red candlestick, continuation of dollar weakness being sold off in the index through the Asian and European session. Bit of a fight back now that the US session is underway. I've got support at 97.84. I've got resistance 98.10. And if I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see the sell-off, and there you see the fight back in the last hour, a bounce up off this support level, double bottom candlestick formation, which is a strong reversal sign on the hourly. So we'll see where the US buyers can recoup these losses, and this can be maintained. Buyers will look up here at this resistance. Resumption of US dollar weakness. We'll be looking down at the support 97.84, but US dollar is attempting to fight its way back now that the US session is underway. Let's have a look at the majors. Euro US, our starting point. There's the daily. There you see strong euro, weak US dollar. Euro fighting its way right now. Was a big solid green candlestick with resistance at 117.59, matching last week's resistance level. I've got support at 117.26, but there's the wick left behind. That's the US dollar fighting its way back. Let's have a look on the hourly, and there you see buying euro, selling US, and then a bounce up, a bounce down off this resistance level. That's selling euro, buying US dollar fighting its way back. We'll see if sellers can get back to the support level at 117.26, or continuation of dollar weakness, buying euro, selling US. We'll be looking up at the resistance level. Let's have a look at the pound against the US. On the daily to start. And there you see pretty narrow range. I've got support at 133.55. I've got resistance at 133.96, just under the $1.34 level. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see to start with, strong pound, weak US dollar, and there's the US dollar fight back, similar to what we saw on the euro. Sellers of pound, buyers of US will look down at continuing with the red, continuing the sell-off, looking down at the 133.50 support level. Let's have a look at the US against the yen. And there you see to start with, certainly weak US dollar, selling US dollar, buying the yen, strong push lower. There's the red candle. I've got resistance at 156, and I have support at 154.84. It's already over 100 pip range, but there's the little wick you see underneath the body of the candlestick. That'll be the US dollar fighting back. That'll be buying US, selling yen. Let's zoom in on that hourly. There you see the fight back by the US against the yen off this support level. We'll see whether that can be maintained. US dollar buyers look up at this 156 level. A continuation of dollar weakness will be in this just above the support level, and the support being at 154.84. US dollar against the Canadian. Another doji-like candlestick, indecision. US dollar has not been able to fight its way back so far against the Canadian. On Friday, it tried unsuccessfully. Today, slightly. If anything, I've got a lower low on the daily. I've got support sitting right now at 137.47, slightly lower than Friday. US dollar buyers did step in and sitting right now at that 137.69 with resistance 137.74. But you can see the doji-like candlestick and buyers, US dollar buyers, unable to make any meaningful bounce up off this level. I'll zoom in on the hourly. If I zoom out a little, there you'll see the red candlestick selling US, buying Canadian. US dollar buyers did step in with a bullish-like candlestick engulfing the previous red, and we'll look up at this 137.74. That's where US dollar buyers will be looking to test, to break above if dollar strength, if US dollar buyers do step in. But for now, pretty flat. You can see not much today. Tried lower, tempt a little bit higher. We'll see how that plays out during the US session. So certainly weak US dollar to get started. We saw that on the index, but we do see the US dollar fighting back against the euro, the pound, the yen, and we'll see whether that can materialize against the strong Canadian as well. We've got support, resistance levels to work with, whether we're looking for a bounce of these support resistance levels or a breakthrough. We've got our levels to work with, and now we'll see at end of day session. Good trading.